Shalom. This is your brother Yael Ezra coming at you again with another quick video. At this time, I want you to join me in the book of Numbers. I will be doing this reading out of the JPS Hebrew English Tanakh. Numbers chapter 15. We will read from verses 37 to the end of the chapter. Hallelujah. Let me first take me a nice sip of this alkaline water. Numbers chapter 15, starting at verse 39. Hallelujah. Yahweh said unto Moshe as follows: Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes on the corner of their garments. I don't know if you can see. Rocking mine. I just wanted to show you, I try to adhere to that which we can do. There's many commandments that we cannot do because we're in exile. There's not a functioning priesthood. We're not in the land, and we have no standing temple. So certain things we cannot do, but this right here, we can do. All right, let's get back to the reading. Let me just go ahead and start over from the beginning. Yahweh said unto Moshe as follows: Speak to the Israelite people and instruct them to make for themselves fringes, or tzitzits, on the corner of their garments throughout the ages. It's something that we're supposed to be maintaining forever. It doesn't stop at it didn't have an expiration date. Let them attach a cord of blue to the fringe at each corner. That shall be your fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Yahweh and observe them. So my people, the tzitzits, the fringes, is not for fashion. It's not a fashion statement. It's not a trend. It is a sacred reminder from Yahweh himself to keep his commandments. Like some people will tie a string around their finger or wrap something around their wrist. This is what Yahweh gave our ancestors, which also includes us, this as a physical reminder to keep the commandments. Let us continue. Let me go ahead and start at verse 39. That shall be a fringe. Look at it and recall all the commandments of Yahweh and observe them, so that you do not follow your heart and eyes in your lustful urge. Thus you shall be reminded to observe all my commandments and to be holy to your Elohim. I, Yahweh, am your Elohim, who brought you out of the land of Egypt to be your Elohim. I, Yahweh, your Elohim. Hallelujah. So my brothers and my sisters, we are to maintain this practice of wearing tzitzit, fringes, whatever you feel comfortable calling them. They are a sacred reminder for us to keep the commandments of Yahweh. As a community, we can keep all the commandments, but all the commandments is it for a certain individual to do. Now let me bring clarity to what I am saying. There are certain commandments that govern certain groups of people. Some of them commandments do not fall under my jurisdiction to do, meaning it wasn't for me to do, even though I can physically do it, but it was not ascribed to me to do. Let me give you this for example. There is a command in the Torah for the kings to write a copy of the Torah for themselves in the presence of the priests. That is for the kings to do. Even though I can physically copy the Torah, and we have a thing that me and my wife started called Write the Torah Challenge. We can partake of that, but that is a command that was actually given to us to do. We have to know the difference. I would not be punished for failing to write a Torah as it was instructed for the kings to do. Even though I could physically do it today, that was not described for all of us to do. So we have commandments for women. Me as a man, I cannot do them commandments. So when the scriptures talk about doing all the commandments, as a community, corporately, back in the land with a functioning priesthood and a temple, we can keep all the commandments as a community. But as an individual, there are only certain commandments that govern us as individuals. The commandments for women, I don't look at. I speak of them, I talk about them, but I do not worry about trying to keep them because it's not for me to keep. So I'm not in sin. I'm not missing the mark if I do not do those things. There's certain things that is just not allotted for us to do. But corporately, as a nation back in the land, with everything restored, we could once again be a people that is walking according to all the commandments, because we will be a people back in our land with everything established the way it's supposed to do, so that we could walk in these commandments in its entirety. So my brothers and my sisters, for that which is for you to do, you need to wear your fringes to remind you to do the commandments of Yahweh. This is your brother Yael Ezra. Till next time, shalom.